Yo, what is up guys? Today we're doing a lightweight prediction for Renato Moicano and Rafael Fiziev. This fight is going to be good at UFC 256, Fiziev versus Moreno. Renato Moicano, 14-3-1. He's a top 30 lightweight fighter in the world. So is Rafael Fiziev, who is ranked 28th at lightweight worldwide. He also has a very, very good record in this lightweight division at 8-1. Rafael Fiziev is actually the favorite in this one, currently sitting around minus 160 as the slight favorite to win this fight. Renato Moicano is currently sitting around plus 135 as the slight underdog to win this one. Renato Moicano is coming off of a nice win over Damir Hadzovic by rear naked choke submission about 8.5 months ago. Before that, losing two featherweight fights to Chan Sung Jung by TKO and Jose Aldo by knockout. And he's had a pretty good run inside the UFC, beating guys like Calvin Kattar and Cub Swanson, but now he's moving up to lightweight to fight Rafael Fiziev, the 27, almost 28-year-old lightweight. Renato Moicano, 31.5 years old. Renato Moicano definitely has the height and reach advantage in this one, though. As he is 5'11" tall and has a 72-inch reach, compared to Rafael Fiziev's 5'8" height, which is 3 inches smaller, and 71.5-inch reach, which is only a half-inch smaller. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, Rafael Fiziev is currently the favorite to win this fight at minus 160. Renato Moicano, the plus 135, slight underdog to win this fight. Now, when you look at those Tapology predictions, out of 1,400 different votes, 57% of the votes are going for Renato Moicano to win this fight, mainly by decision. Some people do think he's going to win the fight by submission. And then 43% of the vote is going for Rafael Fiziev to win the fight, mainly by decision. And then some people do think he's going to get a knockout in this fight. So, the Tapology predictions are pretty 50-50, but definitely the betting odds are a little bit more spread out at minus 160 for Rafael and plus 135 for Renato Moicano. And seeing as more people think that Renato Moicano is going to win this fight, this could potentially be an underdog of the night. Who really knows with this one? All I know in this one is going to be a very, very close fight. If you look at Renato Moicano's record, he started his career back in 2010 with 5 straight wins, got a draw against Felipe Feroz, and came back with a second round rear naked choke submission, a unanimous decision. He was supposed to fight 4 times in 2013 and 2014. Every single one of those 4 fights ended up getting canceled, one of those including a fight against Thomas Almeida. But after those 4 fight cancellations, he then ended up fighting Ismael Bonfim, who he beat by first round rear naked choke submission, got a shot inside the UFC, where he won his first fight with the promotion by second round rear naked choke submission, followed by a very close split decision win over Zubaira Tukhugov, and then another split decision win over Jeremy Stephens, but finally ended up getting his first ever loss in MMA to Brian Ortega, who was undefeated at the time, as he ended up losing the fight by third round guillotine choke submission. Came back after that loss to Brian Ortega with a unanimous decision win over Calvin Kattar, who is said to be fighting Max Holloway in the beginning of 2021, I believe in January or February, but he beat that guy by unanimous decision, and then beat Cub Swanson by first round rear naked choke submission. He was supposed to fight Mirsad Bektic, but I don't know what happened, and he ended up fighting a Jose Aldo instead. Wasn't for the belt, wasn't for anything like that, but it was in a co-main event, I believe on a UFC fight night, but he ended up losing that fight by second round knockout, and then he fought Chan Sung Jung, but lost that fight as well by first round TKO in a main event in a UFC fight night at UFC on ESPN Plus 12. Lost that fight and then came back with a nice win over Damir Hadzovic with a nice first round rear naked choke submission up at lightweight. Now that was his first test at lightweight. Now he is definitely taking a huge step up in competition in this lightweight division. We all know that he did very, very good in the featherweight division, but this test in Rafael Fiziev is going to be a great one. And if you look at Rafael Fiziev's record, 8-1 is a very, very good record for this lightweight division. He started his career back in 2015 with a flying knee knockout. Absolutely insane. I really encourage you guys to go look up this flying knee. It was absolutely insane. Just look up Rafael Fiziev versus, I believe, Sam Boston. It was insane, guys. Flying knee in the very first round. After that win over Sam Boston, he got a first round rear naked choke submission win over Guzdun Nabayev, followed by a first round knockout win over Suraj Baharjar, and a first round knockout over Xiang Yong Kim. Then he had a Muay Thai bout, which I don't know why he had that Muay Thai bout. If I were him, I would have just stuck to MMA, but he went over to Muay Thai and lost his first fight as a Muay Thai fighter by unanimous decision, and I was like, alright, Muay Thai is not for me. We need a little bit of the wrestling. We need a little bit of those submission skills. So he went back to MMA in 2017, got a first round head kick KO win over Nandin Ardin Mungun Tusuj, Very long name, I know, I'm sorry. But after that win, he ended up getting a shot on Titan FC at Titan FC 51, where he ended up fighting Nurzhan Tukayev, where he ended up winning the fight by second round body kick KO, with literally a minute left in that first round. But after that win over Nurzhan Tukayev, got a shot inside the UFC against Magomed Mustafayev, but he ended up losing the fight by first round spinning back kick to the body, and ended up getting knocked out. I think he got hit in the liver. It took him out cold. Not really out cold. It just took all the wind out of his body. I mean, Rafael Fiziev, that was his only loss. It was a very, very interesting one, because up to that point, he was actually winning most of the exchanges on the feet. And once Magomed Mustafayev did that spinning back kick, it was all over from there. But after that loss to Magomed Mustafayev, he did come back with a unanimous decision win over Alex White and a unanimous decision win over Mike Diakese, and is finally trying to get his third win in a row in this UFC lightweight division against a Renato Moicano, a former top 10 featherweight in the world. This should be a very, very interesting fight. Alright guys, so Renato Moicano, 14-3-1, he doesn't have the most experience for a guy that's been in the top 10 of the featherweight division and has fought some very, very good fighters in that featherweight division, like Jose Aldo, Calvin Kattar, Cub Swanson, Brian Ortega, Jeremy Stevens, and then I believe Zubaira Tukhugov, who's not really an elite fighter, but is still a very good fighter. But most of those wins were pretty close, actually. The Calvin Kattar win, it was a very close one. Jeremy Stevens and Zubaira Tukhugov ones, those are obviously very, very close wins by split decision. The Cub Swanson one, in my humble opinion, I do think he got a little bit lucky. Cub Swanson never does what he did in that fight. He kind of turned and faced his head to the ground, and I mean he just jumped on that and got Cub Swanson's back and got that first round rear naked choke submission. I don't think Cub Swanson was really being that smart in that fight. In the fight with Rafael Fiziev, who's an absolute beast of a kickboxer, I think Rafael Fiziev is going to keep this fight on the feet. I think Renato Moicano's wrestling and submission skills are still very, very good, but I definitely think that those skills have been declining in the past couple of years. And in this fight against Rafael Fiziev, his takedown defense is very, very good. I think he can definitely keep the fight on the feet for all three of these rounds. And I have Rafael Fiziev winning the fight by unanimous decision. Alright guys, so the reason I say Rafael Fiziev by unanimous decision, in my opinion, I think the chances that this fight goes all the way are 50%, and I think if it goes all the way, Rafael Fiziev is obviously going to win the fight. I do think there is definitely a chance for Rafael Fiziev to get a knockout in this fight also, and a good chance that Renato Moicano could get the fight to the ground. It's very, very possible, and he could get a submission in this one. I give the chances that Renato Moicano gets a submission in this one maybe 15%. I don't give the chances of that very, very high or very, very likely. I think the chances Rafael Fiziev gets a knockout in this one, probably like 35%, somewhere around there. But I definitely have Rafael Fiziev either getting the win by unanimous decision or getting a first-round knockout in this fight. It should be a very, very interesting fight. Who do you guys think is going to win this one? Is it going to be Renato Moicano, who's fought some absolute beast in the featherweight division, moving up to lightweight, his first real test in the division in Rafael Fiziev, or is Rafael Fiziev just going to go out there and absolutely dominate the fight? Put your predictions in the comment section below. Make sure to like this video if you do like the video, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the absolute best MMA content every single day. We post videos of LFA, UFC, Bellator, literally whatever you guys want for me to do a video of in the future. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and put your predictions in the comment section below. Also, in a couple of weeks, I may be doing a boxing channel called Bert Boxing, if I want to do some boxing predictions as well, because obviously this channel is called Bert MMA for a reason. We only do MMA topics on this channel. Some of my subscribers have been suggesting that I do a boxing channel, so I may be thinking of doing that in the next couple of weeks, but we'll see what happens. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's been a very, very fun video. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here.